right, guys, welcome back, and we have King Piccolo over here. So we just reviewed the Kid Ku archetype, the skillless Kid Goku archetype. So we had a feeling King Piccolo was going to be the other leader, and this is a Wish King Piccolo. So hopefully this is a better version of the other King Piccolo from the previous couple of sets ago, from a few years ago, the Red King Piccolo. That deck, when it first came out, a lot of people slept on the deck, and the deck was actually incredibly strong to the point where they actually had to ban and limit a lot of cards to get it under control, right? So, anyways, let's take a look at this leader. Hopefully, this leader can be just as strong as that deck. Although not too strong, we don't want it in a meta where it just is the only playable deck. Anyways, let's get on to it. We're gonna review. If you guys don't know how these videos work, we're going to review these cards that Bandai has shown us. So they've been showing them on their Facebook. We're gonna read it through them, go over them, and then at the end, we're going to review some synergistic cards from previous sets that actually have some good synergy with this leader. Spoiler alert: there's a few, but not a lot. But we'll go over them regardless. We're gonna milk this bad boy dry. So let's start from the beginning. King Piccolo. Auto, when this card is placed in your leader area, place any number of King Piccolo's Egg Terror is born from your Z deck under this card. So as many as you want, you can just place it right underneath this bad boy from your Z deck. I've noticed, man. So we've reviewed the Gotenks archetype. We've reviewed the Kid Buu, I guess the Majin Buu archetype, and we've reviewed the Red Kid Goku archetype. They really do rely on your Z deck a lot, man. They're really pushing the Z deck thing over here, and I know that they increased the size from 7 to 10, but um, man, it really helps you. Really makes your deck help you. It really forces you to plan your deck building out properly, so you can have the right Z cards because you're only allowed a limited number of them. Anyways, activate main once per turn. Add up to a total of 2 cards with Dragon Ball from among all the cards in your deck and or life. Then obviously, if you do, shuffle the areas you look through, and then you get to play a King Piccolo's Egg from underneath this card. And then, as usual, the wish is when you have 7 Dragon Ball cards in your drop, you draw one and flip this guy over. So right off the bat, seems like a traditional standard wish leader. This auto is pretty cool, so we get to look at that card a little bit. Next card over, we'll take a look at it. But the activate main, the fact that you have to tap a red energy to add 2 Dragon Balls is it's a little neg. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Tapping the energy to add 2 Dragon Balls. I mean, yes, you do get to play a King Piccolo's Egg, but man, I'm not a fan of that, honestly. I have to tap a red energy to just awaken and see my Dragon Balls. It kind of almost makes me feel that Bandai was a little scared this archetype would be too strong and didn't want a repeat of the previous King Piccolo. So interesting. By the way, can we just be honest? This art, I mean, the background on this, look at the colors and the little swirlies. It's great. And they've always been fantastic with art in this game. And take a look at the Awakened Leader. I mean, this is one of the coolest looking arts I've seen in a while. I mean, well, not true. There's a lot of cool looking arts, but the cool looking leader arts on a regular card I've seen in a while. I got the wish symbol right over here, got the lightning and the beautiful colors, and then look at this Shenron. Oh my god, King Piccolo, final stage of conquest with the cool youth looking costume and everything. I mean, it's great. I love this art. Uh, Shame, man, shame, because I wish they had like a full version of this, so it would have been great. Anyways, you awaken. So once you have 7 Dragon Balls, you draw one, flip this bad boy over, activate main once per turn, draw 1 card, then play up to 1 King Piccolo's Egg from under this card. So you can essentially tap one, add 2 Dragon Balls, the same turn, flip one over, draw one, and then draw another one. You have the potential to draw a couple of cards, right? Activate main if you have a red Z Unison with specified cost of 1 in play, and you have to remove 7 Dragon Ball cards in your drop from the game. You basically get to add a card from the top of your deck to your life, so you kind of rejuvenate a life over here, right? So this is a little bit different than some of the other wish leaders. Usually we see them free play a desire or something like that. Not in this guy. In this guy's case. In this guy's case, he just draws 1 card for free and then free plays a King Piccolo's Egg. Uh, this whole archetype seems to revolve around King Piccolo's eggs. So let's take a look at his eggs, right? Terror is born. Deflect, 2 cost, Z battle card, 1 cost over here. Permanent, you can include as many copies of this card in your Z deck as you like. So you can have all 10 of these bad boys. Permanent, this card isn't affected by your opponent's skills and can't attack. So once it's on the board, once it's on the battle area, opponent has no way to get rid of this guy. Auto, when this card is played, place up to one Piccolo Jr. or Demon Clan card from your hand or Z Energy under this card. And then at the start of your main phase, so right after you charge, you draw for turn, you charge, start of that main phase, you'll play a red Piccolo Jr. or a red Demon Clan card as long as it has an energy cost of 3 from under this card, then remove this bad boy from the game. So ways to cheat this guy out is one, for one red energy on your unawakened side, you can actually play the Terror is Born from underneath, but you have to wait till next turn to proc its effect to play the 3 drop cost. So you can play it into your battle area from this side, and you can play it into your battle area for free from this side. The only issue is once you play it, you get to play, say, Piccolo Jr., but you don't get to play the guy until the start of your next main phase, right? So it's not really immediate value. It's going to be protected underneath there. It's not going anywhere, but you have to wait one whole turn to get the full value off. Let's go over some of these cards. So this is a Demon Clan Piano, Terror is Born. Limit 1, discard 1 card from your hand. When this card is played, you get to choose 2 effects. Choose one of these 2 effects. So one is to play 1 red Demon Clan card with energy cost of 3 from your drop. So the card you discard could be a Demon Clan that you just eventually play. This is great. The other effect is add up to a total of 2 Dragon Ball cards from among all the cards and so on and so forth. Shuffle the areas. You get to look through your deck in your life. So this second effect is great if you're on the unawakened side. And then obviously if you're awakened, you'd rather use the first effect to discard a Demon Clan and play a Demon Clan. So really good. This is really cool. You can also discard cards like Koitsukai. So really nice over here. 3 costs, so he's playable off the Piccolo's egg. Tambourine, Terror is Born. When this card attacks, use up to 1 red demon card, 5k. So it just generates free Z energy when it attacks, right? And then activate main. For 1 red energy, you can restand him and then choose one of your opponent's battle cards and they get 15k power for the turn. So basically, he plays for free off this egg over here, and then he can tap 1 and become a dual attacker. This auto is not limit 1, so it's an easy way to generate 2 Z energy, get 2 15k swings, and then get a 15k minus on your opponent's board. So a pretty cool card, right? Let's take a look at this third guy over here. We have King Piccolo. This is a Namekian. So remember, the leader only plays, the Terror Egg thing only plays Piccolo Jr. or Demon Clan. You cannot play these King Piccolo cards. So just a reminder. In order to play this guy, limit 1, you have to tap 2 red energy. That's really steep, man. So yeah, he's a 20k, he's a 3 cost. 2 red energy in this deck that doesn't untap is a lot. As long as your leader is a red King Piccolo, so it works with the old leader as well. If you have 3 or more energy, you play this card from your hand, then add any red demon card from your drop to your Z energy. These are a great way to recycle the tambourine or the pianos and put them into your Z energy, because with this King Piccolo's egg, you can choose a Piccolo Jr. or demon card, in this case, a Demon Clan card, from your Z energy and place it underneath. And you could do it from your hand. The only problem is you're going -1 if you do it from your hand. However, if you do it from your Z energy, that's actually really cool, because now you're getting a little bit more value from it. So this card is really good. He just plays himself. He's a 20k. And then when he's played, he adds a red King Piccolo card or Demon Clan card to your hand. And then he gains 5k power for the turn. So on play, he replaces himself. So for 2 energy, it is pretty steep, but he does give you quite a bit of value. So really cool. Next one we have over here is Suggestion for the Reich. I don't know. Pilafs. This is actually the Dragon Ball archetype card in this set, I guess. Activate main. If your leader is a red Shenron card, look at up to 3 cards, and then add up to 1 Namekian or Demon Clan card with an energy cost of 6 or less to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. This is a really, really interesting card. So there's pros and cons for this. Obviously, the con is that you can whiff off this. Let's say you look at the top 3 cards and they're a non-Namekian or non-Demon Clan. I mean, you just wasted it, right? The good thing about this is sometimes you play wish decks. Sometimes it feels bad to use Dragon Balls and draw into more Dragon Balls and not get the max value from your leader. This guy basically says, hey, even if out of those 3 cards, if one of them you hit is a Dragon Ball, you'll place it at the bottom and then you'll get max value next turn and search out those Dragon Balls. But overall, I can see you maybe running 1 or 2. You can search super combos with this. There's a lot of super combo Piccolos that you can search, so that does help. but maybe you can run this at a one, two, or three of. Honestly, you might be better off running the generic Dragon Balls, the ones that just draw one. Um, but yeah, I mean, cool concept. They're doing something unique. They're doing something new. Just don't know how viable it'll be. But yeah, nice to see that. King Piccolo, Demon Clan convened. This is an SPR actually, so pretty cool. He has Deflect. You playing for 2 red. As long as you have 3 or more energy, you just play this card from your hand. And then limit 1. When he's played, you draw a card and then play up to 1 Namekian or Demon Clan card, both mono red and with the energy cost of 3 from your deck, then shuffle your deck. So you can actually play this guy for 2 red and then also play this King Piccolo over here, and he would get his auto over here as well. So really cool way to treat 2 guys out with this guy, 2 red energy. He also has another effect, activate me once per turn. You place one of your Namekian or Demon Clan cards in the drop, choose one of your opponent's battle cards or unisons, and it gets minus 15k power for the turn. A little bit underwhelming. The fact that it's an activate main means it has to not only hit the board successfully, but you also have to make sure the other Namekian and Demon Clan cards stay on board to proc it. And then to do that to just minus 15k power for 2 red energy. I mean, we saw a card in Kid Ku's archetype, which for 2 red energy was a 30k double striker that played a skill list that also minus one of your opponent's cards, battle cards minus 30k ignoring barrier. So we literally saw that on Kid Ku, and then we have something like this, which is taking up the SPR slot. I mean, it's not out of this world to say this should have been a lot higher. This card it's good. It does give you a little bit of value, but a little bit underwhelming. No offensive keyword skills. Does have deflect, but little interesting over here. Anyways, uh, this is set. This is the first part. Let's take a look at the second part over here. Right off the bat, we have a peel off Earthling. When it's played, add up to 1 Dragon Ball card from your deck to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So he's a way to cheat out more Dragon Balls. Then, if you have 7 Dragon Ball cards in your drop, you place this card in its owner's drop. When your King Piccolo restored Youth and Ultimate Evil Power is played, you have to choose that card and it gains critical for the turn. Speaking of that card is actually right over here. King Piccolo restored Youth and Ultimate Evil Power. We'll read it because the peel off mentions it. It's basically a 6-cost double striker. You EX evolve it. As long as your leader is a red King Piccolo, you EX evolve it over a red KP with the energy cost of 3. Auto, when this card attacks, you use a mono red card with 5k combo, skills negated for the turn in a combo. Then choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards. It gets minus 25k power for the turn. So I guess there is a universe where you get to go ahead and play this guy, then play, another version of. You can't play. I mean, you can play him, but his autos limit 1. So the max value is, let's say you play King Piccolo Birthing Evil off of him. Then you get to go ahead and use his activate main to minus 1 of your opponent's battle cards 15. Then you get to EX evolve over him for free. And then when he attacks, you get to minus another one of their cards by 25k. So yeah, it's a whole chain. You got to go up that chain. He is searchable. He is an Namekian, so you can search him off these Dragon Balls over here. All right. So the whole archetype is coming together. It seems like a big archetype, but yeah, double strike is good offensive keyword skill. It's a start, right? Anyways, we took a look at this peel off over here. Next card is this Piccolo Jr. This is a searchable super combo, and this is a really cool. This is a new super combo for the set. If your leader is red, all your energy is red. As long as you have 2 more Z energy, even if you have more than 4 life, you'll still get the 10k combo power, and then bottom deck 1 draw 2. So it's basically a version where you don't have to be at 4 life. You just use these 10k combo power super combos as long as you have 2 more Z energy, right? And of course, all the energy is red. And it's searchable in this deck. Really cool. Really nice. Piccolo Jr. So you can even run this guy in the other KP deck as well, right? It's pretty cool. Regain peak power. This art has been reused in the other one, which is hilarious. Anyways, activate main. Choose up to 1 of your red King Piccolo cards with an energy cost of 3 or 6. Then choose all your opponent's battle cards with power less than or equal to that card's power and KO them. That's a comment. This card is, I mean, that's probably not going to see play. It's probably just for pre-release, but I mean, that's cool, right? We went over this bad boy. Drum, Terror's Born. Man, you guys remember the drum of the old days, man? Barrier, block, or drum. Just a menace back in the day. Used to be at 4. They still gave it blocker, didn't give it barrier. Wouldn't it have been hilarious if they just gave this thing barrier and it just would have been like, hey, drum is back. Anyways, blocker, when this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards. It gets minus 15k power for the turn. Okay, pretty cool. And then when it's removed from the battle area by an opponent's skill, you actually draw a card. That's actually pretty neat. I like that. Just a reminder, you get to play this drum off of this King Piccolo's egg, so it's a demon clan. And then symbol, this is the other demon clan. When this card is played, you get to choose any of these guys' effects. First one is to draw one, then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, gets minus 10k power. Pretty good. Drawing a card is really good, especially if you've managed to somehow get this guy in your Z energy. Then going ahead and placing him from your Z energy into the King Piccolo's egg, and playing it and drawing one. It's a neat way to get a hard +1. His other effect is if you're on your unawakened side, you can add 2 Dragon Ball cards. And then if you did add 2 Dragon Ball cards, actually no, even if, okay, so let's say you decide to use a second effect and you only add 1 Dragon Ball card, you still have to discard a card. Discard one card from your shuffle. Yeah, so that's a little bad. So I guess this second effect is pretty cool, but I guess use it if you're 100% sure you have 2 Dragon Ball cards left. If you only have 1, then you'll just add one and discard one. It won't really be a good plus, right? So it's a cool card. Minus 10k is it's something. So not bad. Piccolo Jr. Reborn Evil Power. Critical, so good keyword skill. Auto limit 1. When your King Piccolo card is removed from the battle area, by an opponent's skill, play up to 1 King Piccolo's egg. Terror is born. This bad boy over here. From under your leader, with its auto skills negated for the turn. Then place this card from your hand under the played card. So you'll play this, but you won't get both of these autos the turn you play it. Mainly this first auto. So you don't get this first auto, but you will take this from your hand, this 20k crit Piccolo Jr. Cost of 3. You'll place it right underneath this bad boy. And then at the start of your next main phase, you'll go ahead and play this 20k crit from underneath there. I mean, it's cute. It's a way to... It doesn't really hard punish your opponent. I mean, look, Kid Ku skillless got Bunny Girl, and we got Piccolo Jr. So who needs Bunny Girl when you got Piccolo Jr., right? I mean, it's a cool card, but it ain't no Bunny Girl. But hey, it's 20k crit, right? Just in time, Vegeta and Trunks. This isn't really for this archetype. This is actually for the previous archetype, which was the Vegeta deck. Sure, we'll quickly review it. Why not? Since it's here. It's a 1 energy 30k. I mean, it's really strong, and it just KOs up to a total power of 25k or less. Then adds it to its C energy. It also counts as 2 names. It counts as Vegeta and Trunks for that archetype. Card's really good, man. 30k, 1 energy. I mean, wow. And look at this. We've got another card from that Vegeta archetype. So I know we're going off track over here, but look at this. 10k. I mean, wow, you don't see that too often. Does have a permanent. This card gets minus 9k combo power in all areas. So technically it's a 1k. And then obviously, if it's your opponent's turn, when you use this combo from your hand, you play this guy from your drop. So super cool because on your opponent's turn, you can combo with this, draw one, and then go ahead and play it. Or combo with it, I guess, on your awakened and unawakened side. It works on both. The requirement is if your leader's backside is Vegeta awakened feeling. So it doesn't mean your leader has to be awakened. It just states if your leader is a specific one, right? The only condition is your opponent has 2 more energy. It's your opponent's turn, and at the end of the battle where this guy was using a combo, right? So as long as your opponent's turn, as long as your opponent has 2 more energy and it's your opponent's turn, you can play this bad boy. I mean, if there's a way to use this guy in a combo for free, then this 10k combo is pretty powerful. 14k is a little bit of a weird stat, but these 2 are cool cards, man. Anyways, going back over here, here's the Z Unison. If you guys remember, then we have our awakened leader over here. Man, every time I see this art, I'm just in awe, man. It looks beautiful. I can't wait to see a shiny version of this. Hopefully it looks great. But activate main if you have a red Z Unison with a specified cost of 1 in play. There is one from the previous set. I believe it's a Whis Z Unison. Not really for this archetype, but this one is. So if you have these guys in play, you get to rejuvenate a life. Activate main. Choose up to one of your King Piccolo's egg. Terror is born. So choose one of these bad boys over here. Place up to 1 Demon Clan card from your Z energy. So it has to be from your Z energy underneath that card, then play up to one red Demon Clan card with an energy cost of 3 from under the chosen card. So this is a great way to, I guess, reuse the egg over here, right? So let's say, for example, you've played the egg, you have to wait until next main phase to play the Demon Clan or the Piccolo Junior. This peel off the unison says, hey, we'll play the red Demon Clan right now, right? So we'll go ahead and play it right now. And this says choose up to one of your King Piccolo's egg terrors born, unless specified. The rulings say that it talks about the card in the battle area. So this will not target it if it's underneath your leader, underneath your leader's underneath your leader in the leader area. It'll only target if this guy is in the battle area. So, I mean, look, this is a way to cheat him out early. It's a way to get +2, so then you don't have to wait till next turn to trigger your start of main phase and play those guys. So, I would say this card is integral. I don't think it's gonna last at all. This is a one cost Z unison that just gets a +1. I mean, yeah, that doesn't help. Let's take a look at the -3. I mean, if your opponent doesn't attack this and lets us stick around and somehow you get this -3 off, it's pretty cool because you get to play the King Piccolo Unison from the other King Piccolo archetype. That King Piccolo Unison is limited to one. Um, so if you have it in your deck, it's there. You get to play it from your deck with 2 markers on it. Shuffle your deck. So, I guess that's pretty cool. Shout out to the old archetype. I don't think this unison will last, but if it does, hey, you get some value. And then obviously we have Pilaf here. We already reviewed this, so just to review, um, yeah, there's some stuff going on over here, man. There's some stuff going on. Let's take a look at some of these older cards. Now, you guys are sleeping on this card. I'm gonna be honest with you. This card is absolutely insane. It fits perfectly with this deck. We have right off the bat, we have a new ruler. This card is a 15k double strike. Whoa, shit, man. This card is banned. Oh, no. This card is banned. Well, it doesn't matter. We're still going to put it in the deck. If your leader card is red against 5k power, your opponent can't activate blockers. I'm just kidding with you guys. No, this card is banned, but wouldn't it be crazy if this card came off the ban list just for this leader? I mean, that would actually put this guy a little bit back into contention, right? So if you guys remember, this card used to be a menace in the meta, man. This card was insane. So this card would just win games because it was a double striker. You could not activate blocker skill against this guy. So like your opponent would use testing the ops or would use one of the blocker token negates, and it's like, great, you have the token, but you can't block with it, or you can't block with your barrier blocker. You're just gonna swing it. And then it was, I mean, this card, and it was free. That was the craziest part. It was a 20k free. This was just a little joke. I just wanted to put it in here so you guys can be reminded of the good old Red King Piccolo days, man. How those days have gone by. Speaking of Red King Piccolo, these next 3 cards are all from that archetype. These are all Demon Clan cards with energy cost of 3. So you can actually run these guys inside this new King Piccolo over here. Obviously, at the end of the battle, with this card is using a combo from your life place, because they all have this effect. We really don't care about this effect. We're not comboing it from our life. But the other effects are pretty viable. So let's read this. If your leader card is a Red King Piccolo card, you choose up to one of your red Unisys card with Rejuvenate in its skill text. So if we actually think about the wording of this card technically does have Rejuvenate in its skill text, and this is a unison, right? It doesn't specify cost of 2, just says one red unison. You can actually place a red demon clan card from your drop underneath it. You draw a card and add a marker to it. So hey, it's pretty cool, right? You get to, I guess, take this to 3 markers. So pretty neat. And then you get to draw a card as well, and you get a 15k attacker. So pretty relevant. Tambourine over here. I remember this card. Oh my god, this card used to be so freaking good back in the day. You swing so wide and so big. And then at the end of the battle, we're not gonna read this effect. It's whatever. But auto once per turn, as long as you have 3. In this case, we don't care. As long as you have a red unison card in play with cards underneath it, which you can do that by using the symbol over there. You can actually switch this guy to active mode, and it'll gain 5k power for the turn. So it'll be basically a 15k swing and then a 20k swing. Keep in mind it is unique and it is a little bit trickier to pull off, but it is a viable target if you're looking for one, right? And last but not least, we have the man himself, Drum. Limited to one. This card used to be, oh my god, this card used to put on work back in the day when KP was at full power. So this guy basically has an effect what he's played. He just chooses up to win your battle cards and gets minus 10k power. You're thinking that's it? Why is this guy at one? That's all he does. The reason why is because of these two keyword skills right over here. He had barrier and he had blocker at the same time. And back in the day when this guy came out, right? So we're talking set 12 over here. So when this guy came out in set 12, barrier removal wasn't all that common as it is now, right? You're like, oh, you could just faded rivals. Well, faded rival didn't exist back then, right? You have to understand we're talking set 12. So the amount of options that are viable now weren't as viable as they were before. So if your opponent had two, three, four, if your opponent had all four of these guys on board, remember they could just combo with any card from their life with that extra card. So if your opponent had four of these guys on board, it was such a hassle to clear, man. So that's why this card was limited to one. I mean, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. If Bandai decides in their ban list to bring this guy back to four and maybe put this guy to like one or two, I mean, this deck does get a lot more powerful. I don't think that's gonna happen, but hey, this is Bandai we're talking about. Anything is possible. Let's take a look at this guy. This is another guy that we ran from that previous archetype. He EX evolves over a red KP with the energy cost of 3 or less. The KPs that we've actually reviewed, they are energy cost of 3. So he can evolve over this one, or he can evolve over this one. It's actually pretty cool. And the good thing about this guy is that when he evolves, he actually replaces himself by adding any red Namekian or Demon Clan card with an energy cost of 4 or less, other than this card or red unison, right? So this guy is amazing because he'll just flat out search your super combo for you. If you're running that Piccolo super combo at 4 life, or let's say for example, you're running the other one, this guy over here. I'm looking for the card. The stupid Piccolo Jr. There we go. If you're running this guy, he's a Namekian. So playing this guy will automatically just add him, directly from your deck to your hand. So this guy is a great way just to get that super combo out. One red energy is a lot, especially when you're playing two for these other guys over here, right? So if we take a look at this guy to EX evolve over someone like this, or to EX evolve over someone like this, you're investing a total of 3 energy into it. But hey, it could be a play maybe mid or late game. When he's played, or when he attacks once per turn, you choose one of your red Demon Clan card in your battle area, and it gets 20k power for the turn. So really strong because now the demon card that you've played underneath the egg is probably going to be swinging for 35k minimum, right? So this guy is a pretty cool card to look at. And another card we can take a look at from that same archetype is King Piccolo Evil Dictator, the SR. Right off the bat, man, look at these offensive keyword skills. Man, KP back in the day was a menace, man. When I tell you guys that deck was insane, I mean, the deck was insane. But look at these offensive keyword skills, right? I mean, it's insane. And if we compare it to some of the keyword skills, offensive keyword skills we have right now for this deck, I mean, it doesn't compare. You can tell Bandai was being really careful constructing this deck, right? But luckily, this card is playable in this new deck. So let's take a look over here. The way to play it is to tap one red. If your leader is a red KP, and you choose any number of red Demon Clan cards in your battle area whose total power adds up to 40k or more, place them into the drop, you get to play this card from your hand. You're thinking, hey, that's pretty tough to pull off. If you have 15ks, 15ks, you're going to need at least 3 15ks to pull off. Or if you have 20ks, you're going to need at least 2 20ks to pull off. And yeah, it could be a little bit tough. He doesn't choose any Namekian. He only chooses the Demon Clans. But this combo is back in the day was made entirely possible from this guy. So, it could be possible, but definitely something to consider. I mean, just these keyword skills themselves are really strong. So, yeah, definitely worth a quick mention. Let's take a look at this guy over here. We are a Wish leader, a Shenron leader. This guy just has one purpose. He just dumps 3 Dragon Balls. That's it. He really doesn't have any other purpose. Yeah, he says choose up to 1 king to return to you. Don't play this card. Don't play this engine. This engine is straight trash. It's an old engine. It doesn't do anything for you, right? The only reason, if you want to play this card, the only reason you would play this card It's just so you can dump 3 Dragon Balls to turbo your awakening to your turbo your awaken to your awakened side. So now you can play the eggs for free. No other reason to play this card, and certainly not for this over here, right? So worth an honorable mention. Let's take a look at this guy over here. Get that monster. Since we are a Red Shenron leader, this card for free will actually help search for a Dragon Ball card. This can also add a Red Desire card, but because we don't run Desires, we only care about this first effect. Activate battle, limit 1, so during your turn or your opponent's turn, just add a Dragon Ball. Super cool. Uh, Limited use is correct. I don't think you'd run need for this card. Maybe one or two. This card is pretty cute. I don't know how efficiently this deck will thin itself with Dragon Balls, considering the fact you have to freaking pay one to do that. So I guess doing it for free is a welcomed addition, right? And last but certainly not least, we have Android 13 over here. Only reason I included this guy in is because he's a generically good card. And nowadays, with all these decks that red decks that come out that are Saiyans, they have access to cards like King Vegeta's Imposing Presence. They have access to SS4 Vegito, Light in the Dark. I mean, those cards are freaking insane. They'll carry our red Saiyan leader all the way to the top just because that red leader is a Saiyan. In this case, we really don't have anything like that, but because we're a non-Saiyan, I guess we get to play Android 13. It is a 1 energy, draw 1, 20k blocker. That minus is a battle card, very important, or unisons. And then if it attacks a battle card, it'll switch to active mode. We'll take what we can get, right? So King Piccolo is one of those archetypes where, we'll take what we can get, right? And this certainly is not a bad card by any means. It does have a little bit of synergy with this deck, and yeah, it is. All in all, man, if you're excited for King Piccolo, then share that enthusiasm with me because I'm not all the way there yet. The deck itself does seem like a legit deck. It's a heavy archetype deck. It does have its plays, and I'm sure once it gets off and it hits its consistent curves, the deck can be very strong. But this deck seems like a shadow of its former self, right? And to be honest with you, if you're a very good pilot and you actually put the time and effort into this deck, I think you will have a chance to top with this deck, right? I think that's true for most decks in Dragon Ball, right? If you put the time and effort into that deck and you go with it and you practice it, you play with it, your matchups with it, that deck, you'll do very good with that deck. You'll go very far, right? And King Piccolo is no exception, right? It'll reward the player for knowing their matchups. It'll reward the player for being good. But if you want to just pick up a deck and play it and win with it, I don't think this will be the deck. Though I will say this does look one of the more fun decks for sure. We're gonna do a tier rank for this. You guys know S is amazing, A is okay, B, then C, and then D is straight trash. I'm not gonna give this deck a D. I don't think this deck is straight trash. However, I am more than willing to give this deck a C rating for now, and then obviously we'll see how it changes. The last video I gave Kid Ku, I believe, a B rating. I think that deck should be an A rating. Kid Ku is absolutely insane. It does hurt to see a deck like Kid Ku that is absolutely insane, that has so much potential, and see a deck like King Piccolo where they've hindered that a little bit, right? And you can just take a look at their SRs and SPRs and just compare them, compare the boss monsters of one archetype with the other archetype. I mean, it's a night and day difference, right? One just free plays a 30k, and this one free plays an egg that has to wait till the next turn to play a 15k that might get a skill off, right? So significant gap between the two decks. Not saying that King Piccolo is a bad deck, but it certainly isn't what we were expecting after seeing Skillless Kid Ku, right? Regardless, like I said, I think this deck is really fun. I think this deck definitely has some use in the meta. I would definitely not say it's A tier. I definitely wouldn't say it's S tier. I don't think it's B tier either. I think it's a C tier. You know what I mean? I think it's a cool deck. I think it's really good, and it could be those. It could be that deck to catch you off guard with locals. But all in all, I expect a little bit more from this archetype. Now, if these two guys come back, if they put Drum back to 4 and King Piccolo comes back exclusive for this archetype, I mean, we're going right back and we're doing a breakdown because that could change this deck quite a bit. But for now, for the time being, until we see, I mean, they can give this deck a busted promo. But until we see a couple of more good cards, I feel comfortable with putting it in where it is. But regardless, I still think the deck is fun. I will be playtesting this on Untapped, just seeing different lines of play and everything. But if anything changes, I guess I'll make an update to this and let you guys know. Thank you guys as always. Thank you guys so much for watching as always. Thank you guys for liking and subscribing. And thank you guys for just watching my videos and just, I guess enjoying them so I can keep doing this for you guys. So looking forward to the next reveal. Hopefully it's going to be green because there's a lot of good generic green cards from last set, and Dorman is still strong. So hopefully we get to see some green, uh, you know, the next time. But whatever it is, I guess you'll see it. We'll do an archetype breakdown of it. Thank you guys. Peace. Have a nice day. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Also, if I forgot to mention any cool cards that work with this archetype, comment them below. I'm always looking out for the comments. So if you guys know any spicy texts or cool lines of play or anything like that, comment down below because trust me, I look forward to testing this deck. All right. Have a nice day, guys. Bye.